Okay, so just open up the side door on there. And it opens. Now if for some reason, sometimes if you leave this like this for a while, the screen might go black. Or it might start doing some other, like it has like a screensaver or whatever that comes on. This button right here, that puts it's the standard, like a universal symbol for a power button.
Okay.
If you push it once, off, again, on. So that's...
So every time before we do the recording, you must do this.
No, that's just if something happens. Like if you're like, why is my screen blank? It's open, but it's black. I don't know why. That's just a troubleshooting thing for you. If something happens,
Okay.
that's how you fix it. But normally, it'll go for quite a while with just this before it goes to the black screen. So you're okay there. So recording. Okay, before we record, if I touch the screen here, it shows me up in the right-hand corner here. See that 3 hours and 36 minutes.
It can run for 3 hours.
That's how much room I have on the memory card in there right now.
Okay.
So unless you're feeling really long-winded, I've kind of figured out that if you leave at least an hour to an hour and 20 minutes, so if there's at least an hour to an hour and 20 minutes on this card, you're fine. Because you're only recording the sermon. You're not recording the singing or any other part of the service. Unless there's something special happening, then maybe you would want to. But so you keep that in mind. But if there was less than an hour and 20 minutes on here, here's what you do. You click on Menu, and then you go down here to Setup, the little toolbox, Setup, and then where it says Format, you tap there, and Memory Card. So it's the only thing you can do. So I tap Memory Card, and it tells me Execute all data will be deleted when format is processed, and it tells me it'll take approximately 13 seconds. I click on OK, and it'll do it. Now, sometimes I've seen it where it'll do this, and then there it did it, where it was down to 9, then it starts over again. I think it's just cleaning up files in there, making sure it's doing it right. So it might take longer than the 13 seconds that it says it will, but then when it's done, it'll go here, it says completed. I click OK. So it goes back to this one, so I click on the X, and I click on the X again. Okay? Now the last thing we're going to worry about before we're into recording is the color, making sure that everything looks all right, and that's what they call white balance. And you shouldn't need to worry about it too much because the lighting in here will always stay the same. But if for some reason you come in here one day and it looks really yellow maybe in here, or the other side everything will look over blue. Like if you pointed at the white wall, and if the wall looks blue, then your color balance is off, or your white balance is off. So the way you deal with that is we'll go into Menu again, and where it says Camera, whoops, let's go back. I didn't want to go there. We're going to here. I want to go where it says Camera, MIC. I click on there, and then the top one here where it says White Balance, that's what I want to do. Then I'm going to point it at something that's white, like the wall. And if I want to, I can zoom in and make sure it's only white, but that's pretty good right there. And then, so there's 4 options here. Auto, it'll just automatically set it based on the lighting conditions in the room. I don't like that because sometimes it used to happen quite often, tending point, where because of the lights overhead, it looks one way now, but if Pastor leans forward, and then now the shadows are different, so the lighting adjusts, and it does weird things. So we don't want to use that one. Then there's the standard one. If we're videoing outside, that one would be a good one for outside. This one is okay for indoors, for if they're the right temperature of light. Unfortunately, ours aren't that temperature here. So what we do is we use this one here. And this is what they call one push. So I tap that, and then over here where it says set, I just tap that. And wait for a minute. It's looking at the white wall. It's like, okay, that's white. So it adjusts whatever it needs to adjust inside there. And then everything looks the way it's supposed to, and far as colors go and all that stuff. Okay. So if, like I said, that's one of those things you shouldn't need to do that too often. But if you're noticing before you start videoing, oh, the colors look weird in here, that's your white balance is how you can fix that. So now that you're ready to record, That's the easiest part. Just tap this button here. The big silver button with the red thing on it. And if I push that, this changes from standby to record.
Recording.
So I know that I'm recording. And then if I want to change the framing of the shot, now what I've done is I've tried to do it so it's most of like a full body shot for the pastor speaking, because this is recording in 4K, it's really high quality. So when I put it up online, I'll crop into like
Yeah.
a shot like this, and I don't lose much quality. But I could, if I decided he's not going to move anyways, I can do that. So